All right, guys, we are here at Shelby American Fest in Millville, New Jersey. And what you can see here is we have a Super Snake and we have our personal dark horse. So I kind of wanted to show you guys in real life what both these cars look like, parked next to each other, what is the differences, what it means to get a Shelby Super Snake, and of course, what is a dark horse. So for example, what you can see here is the Shelby Super Snake is a supercharged Shelby S650. So what you have here, this is the Shelby Super Snake supercharged V8 stick shift with all the Shelby bodywork. Of course, we were there at the debut. You have the Shelby hood, the Shelby front end. You have the beautiful front fenders that are all slotted. You have the beautiful wheels that are all set up just for you. They're magnesium, actually. The Shelby wing. And what I do like about this too, I want you to take a look at the unique rear bumper. I mean the trunk lid, sorry. How it comes up like a beautiful 67 Mustang. Looks really unique. Big fan of it. Now here's the kicker though. They're only making a couple hundred of these, I believe, and they're about $160,000. You can order them. Shelby American will build them, but you have a Super Snake. This dark horse was $74,000. Only problem is, look at these cool cars here. Only problem is, this is now $80,000 for a 2025. So these performance vehicles are getting expensive. What you can do is you can get a dark horse, put a Whipple on it, and we're gonna probably do that. Obviously we are. Or you can get it all in one shot from Shelby American. I'm a big fan of this Super Snake. I like the subtle cues of the new Snake being very aggressive. Again, I love this lip here. Now what you're gonna notice is, in comparison to a dark horse, you can take a look at the front bumpers here. So this is the dark horse handling pack in comparison with the Super Snake. So this starts off as a GT. Again, whole new front, A-pillar forward, and this has kind of gotten the wide body treatment. But you can see here, this is the dark horse. So this is from Ford, and Shelby American together. Shelby American builds this. So just some cool things. I also want to showcase you the difference of the interior. We're going to be driving this soon, but to take a seat in it. So very nice. I believe this has you have your drift brake here. Let me see how this, oh, nice and notchy. Okay, good. I believe this is MT82 still. Yes, MT82, but this has a short shifter in there. And then, of course, you have the badging. So, very nice setup here. And basically very similar to what you get in a dark horse. So you can see that there. So, it's kind of your cup of tea. So they're here. Of course, next to the Shelby Super Snake, which is a $160,000 car from Shelby American. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because I think it's a huge missed opportunity, and in the long run, this is hurting the car culture, the Mustang community as a whole, because I guess I'm getting old now, and the reality is, when I grew up, the point of the Mustang was cheap fun, which you can make fast in the aftermarket. And now that the Mustang is more expensive, upwards of $2,600 more for the GT, and now $3,600 more, even $5,000 more for a dark horse fully maxed out, I think this is a big missed opportunity, and it's gonna hurt the community in the long run. As you can see in this video, we do have the wonderful and beautiful Shelby American Super Snake. Now they're only making a couple hundred of those, so that's not really fair. You know, it's a very specialty Mustang, the 160 gram. But the mass-produced Mustangs from Ford are more expensive. And one of the things that I loved, Mustang was my first car growing up, was, again, you get the car for cheap, you can make it look cool, and you can hurt the feelings of cars that are triple the price of it, right? And now with these cars being in the $50,000 to $80,000 range, before you even get into getting a supercharger, and of course they're not unlocked yet officially to really go hard, it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially with these interest rates being so high as they are. Even with good credit, you're getting 7 to 10% unless you get some crazy deal. And one of the things that I was talking to when I went to the Shelby Fest right here in New Jersey Motorsports Park was the age of the people there was, I think, 50 plus. There wasn't many young people there. Now the reason is, of course, Shelbys are expensive, but as a whole, young people don't know who Carroll Shelby is. And younger people, I'm talking the 18 to like 25 range people, aren't into cars the way they used to be when I was growing up. Now, that's not good for enthusiasts like yourself and myself who are just, you know, eat, sleep, and breathe cars. We love them, right? But the reality is the young adult is priced out of the segment from the jump. And unless they get a car that's beat to hell and try, it's not possible. And the only people that can get into that world are people who are older. And what's going to end up happening is you have to keep recycling, right? Like, you have a generation and then you have the next generation. So S550 is already over. I mean, I loved it. Almost a decade plus of enjoying everything from EcoBoost all the way to GT500 and everything in between. And so far, the S650 hasn't been nowhere near what the S550 has been as far as fanfare, as far as aftermarket, as far as enthusiasm. And quite frankly, it's because of these reasons. It is just way too expensive. And it's sad because people aren't able to experience the cars the way I did, or the young people growing up. You know, you're forced to get a New Edge or S197, which is fine, but you're almost better off getting an S550 if you really want to join the process. But people want to get into new stuff. You want to also be able to get, and maybe you're out of college at 22, 23 years old like I was, and you want to finance your first car. You're looking, oh, let me see a Mustang. Oh my goodness, it's $65,000 or 60 grand or 55 grand at 7% interest. And you're going to be paying a mortgage payment for a car before you even talk about getting a home or paying rent or just living expenses as a whole. The economy is not good. So I think this is a really tough pill to swallow. Now, remember, the Mustang is not the cash cow for a Ford Motor Company like an F-150 or an Explorer is. It is not a car that's going to make or break the company, though it does have the name and the moniker of being such an amazing brand for Ford that, you know, they use it for the Mach-E SUV, which unfortunately hasn't translated to sales the way they thought by putting the Mustang name on it. If anything, it's hurt the sales of the Mach-E SUV. So we're in a weird place, you know, and I have gone from EcoBoost to GT500, and I said, okay, listen, 80 grand is like my top for a Mustang. Now, I know that a GTD is a specialty car and it's $325,000, and that's not a mass-produced vehicle. But as a whole, from GT to Dark Horse, we haven't even gotten to specialty Mustangs yet. Is the Boss coming? Is the GT500 coming? I'm really at a point where I have to say that I feel like Ford is not doing a good job pricing the car for people to get into it. It's getting up there in BMW range. It's getting up there in a price point where people would rather go for a higher end sports car like a Porsche, a used Porsche, or even a Corvette, Specialty Z06 or 01. Like 70 to 80 grand for a maxed out dark. Now my dark horse car is 74,000. Remember, these cars, yes, I do have relationships with Ford. I'm at a lot of their events, but I pay for these cars myself, and these aren't given for free. The dark horse was $74,000 that I drive, and now it's $80,000 for the same spec in 2025. And you know, again, that's a tough pill to swallow. And I'm ranting a little bit here because I'm disappointed, because I can see the writing on the wall where we're gonna have to wait. These cars, as far as S650 is concerned, them getting more expensive, them still being locked, it's not good. It's just not good. Like I said, you're better off getting an S550 and modifying that. But the sadness in that is, you want to take, like we did with the S550, Mamba or Hulk or whatever build you have. It's fun to do and tinker with the new stuff, because you get to be the first, you get to have fun with the micro records, and it's not done before. And with Whipple being the only, you know, kind of kid in town with supercharging, I know Rouse just jumped on basically using the old Odin kits with Magnuson, but they're not near Whipple's level. We're kind of forced into this, you know, and as an American, you know, that's not what we want. We want to have our opportunity to choose what we want. So we'll see how this plays out. I think that the raising of the prices isn't the way to go. Like again, I know Camaro is gone, I know Hellcat's gone, but that doesn't mean we can monopolize the market and just say, well, because we set the standard, $2,600 and $3,600 more is fine. And in this economy, and with younger people not getting into it, people are going to hold on to their stuff, you know? And I just think it's a really big miss. I mean, I remember 25K for a Mustang GT was a lot. 45K was a lot. Now we're at 55, 60. Like, are we going to have a $100,000 Mustang GT in 4 or 5 years? Like, this is not good. So, my suggestion, my advice to you is, try to, if you can get a 2024 with some miles on it, save some cash. I think that would be the ideal way, because there's so many out there. You know, put a Whipple on there and you have a heck of a performance vehicle that meets emissions with Whipple's tune. But right now, I don't see the 2025 with those price increases and the interest rates still not being good, getting to a place where all of a sudden the S650 2025 model is crazy. Now, we haven't talked about what's coming up, the GT500 or the Boss. They're still on the horizon coming out for 2025. With these price increases, are we looking at an $85,000 starting price point, up to 100 plus? So that to me is discouraging for the common guy. Like, I'm the common, like I represent the common dude. Like, you work hard, you like to have some money, you save up for your vacations, you take care of your family, and then you have your toys, or toy. And at these prices, the common man can't afford this anymore. So I know that I do have people that watch me from Ford, and I'm just giving my humble opinion. And, you know, if I ruffle some feathers, that's okay. I have to be honest. But the price increases, I think, is a huge, huge missed opportunity. But if you can afford it, Godspeed, enjoy. You got a Shelby American Super Snake, which is great. And like again, I think the Dark Horse is my favorite, if not my favorite Mustang to drive outside of any Shelby I've had. And it's a good car for 60, 65 max, not 75, not 85, or not 80. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. That remains to be seen. If you are getting a 2025, let me know what you think about the prices, the up increases. Are they justified? Are they not? Let's see what happens. because you know it never ends. I appreciate the support, guys. We're coming back. Like and subscribe, because you know it never ends. Peace.